Facebook, have you heard about that thing? I just saw actually that Mark Zuckerberg, today they announced he made $2.2 billion in 2012. So, you know, a lot of people are on that Facebook.
Wow.
They just lifted their violent video ban, and this has a lot to do with beheadings. So basically, people were posting all these beheadings that were happening all over the world, mostly in the Middle East. And then in May, they banned it, and they've been reviewing their policy, and as of yesterday, they have lifted the ban, and now you can see beheadings on Facebook again. But we've got a quote from Facebook spokesman. People share videos of these events on Facebook to condemn them. If they were being celebrated or the actions in them encouraged, our approach would be different. We want to draw a distinction between users who want to share events that are important to them and videos that are being celebrated and shared for sadistic pleasure. That's Matt Steinfeld from Facebook. All right, so they're making a clear distinction between, I guess, bad beheadings and good beheadings or celebratory beheadings or something. I guess this sort of goes to the nature of what is Facebook, and should it be just this open source thing that anyone can put anything on? What do you make on this, about this flip?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you know, it's interesting that they would take such a firm stance on violence when they've been so, you know, equally firm against, like, you know, nudity and breastfeeding, that whole controversy.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's good if they're allowing people to condemn violence in their own, you know, weird way. I personally don't want to see any of that on my Facebook newsfeed.
Really? So,
yeah.
But what about your Twitter feed? Would you be more okay with it on Twitter? Because I think this does go to the why do we use these things and how we use them all differently.
I mean, the thing is, I know that it exists. I mean, I guess, like, you know, not everybody is as informed, but yeah, I mean, I think that I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at some of the other things that Facebook has banned. Right now, they're banning nudity, drug use, pornography, promotion of eating disorders, any video that condones violence, images of breastfeeding, only if child is actively nursing, no nipples allowed. I didn't make this up. Yeah, that's actually true. Oh, and this is just fantastic. Let's look at this image of Kylie Minogue. They banned this image of her. She's holding a bear there, and as you can see, they said, we do not allow photos that contain nudity, drug use, or violence. Now, it appears that the microphone looks like the bear's penis, I suppose. I haven't seen a bear penis before, but I guess that's what's happening here. And Facebook actually took that picture down. So does this just sort of show the subjectivity and how stupid, when you have these big rules for everybody on something as big as Facebook, how stupid these rules are? Unless did that turn you on in any way?
I like that picture, actually. It was a cute picture.
It was a good one.
Yeah. You know, we had a story on Riot the other day that was about the London Museum of Art is having a new exhibition of Japanese wood printing, block printing from the 1800s, and there was one of a painting of a naked woman, and they pulled it off. They banned me for a day. They banned our whole image. They pulled Riot down for a day, and it was a painting from the 18th century on a beautiful piece of fine art. And it was frustrating to me because I think, you know, it was goes back to part of our culture that is so afraid to show nipples on a feed, but can absolutely show, you know, violence. And to me, I would rather see nipples on my feed than blood any day.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wrong.
Yeah. We're all agreed on that.
That's us. We should start a Facebook group about that.
Speaking of nipples on Facebook, I remember a couple months ago there was a portrait, a painting of B. Arthur that was sold for like $1.1 million on Sotheby's, and they put the picture on there and they took that down. Yeah. So it's even a painting. I don't think anyone's really looking at B. Arthur's painted nipples in a sexual way.
No, it's totally absurd. I mean,
are you, Max?
I'm not.
You might be, probably.
Yeah. But no, I do think it's ridiculous that you can't show, you know, tasteful nudity on Facebook.
Right. So, but do you guys think it should be open for everything? I mean, if so, when they're showing these beheading things, usually it's to expose something awful that's happening. The last time that I specifically remember it was with the Syrian rebels beheading some people, and then it turned out maybe it wasn't the rebels and that whole thing. But shouldn't Facebook just be open sort of for what we all want to, whatever it is that we want? You select your friends.
I don't know I also don't know what the point of it is. I mean, if you're showing it, and I also don't know how you tell if you're condoning it or you're celebrating or it's sadistic in the first place. I mean, for us, with our news site, we spend a lot of time at Riot like saying, look, should we post this picture? Should we not post this picture? Do people want to see it? And we have a young audience. Our posts go up on Facebook. Yeah. So we're really sensitive to that. And people call us out all the time if we put a Facebook post that has a really bloody image on it. That happened with the Boston Marathon. I think a lot of people tried to figure out how we show those images there.
Yeah.
I always try to be sensitive to it because if there's not at least an action of how you can help that person, then it is sadistic in that ways. You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Would you rather it be open for everything, just for the, because you're selecting your friends, so the people that that are seeing it it is a cultivated and sort of
right. I would never say that they should censor anything, especially if the pictures depicting violence don't condone violence in any way. They're being used to sort of say how awful it is. But I personally, I see a lot of things on my newsfeed about, from animal rights activists that are like pictures of animals, undergoing vivisection and things like that. And it turns me off. I don't think that that's the way to rally people around your cause, by using, inflammatory, graphic imagery. It's just not.
Did you guys ever watch those Faces of Death videos when you were a kid?
I did when I was like 12. My mom was not happy.
I had one friend who always wanted to have a sleepover and play those videos, and I didn't want to hang out with that kid anymore. He was the creepy one. I wanted to just watch like Child's Play or something like that, and this guy wanted to watch those videos. So I unfriended him in real life before Facebook.
That's a great metaphor.
If you don't know what Faces of Death are, it was real killings that they showed on tape. I don't know. I was having sleepovers watching that shit too.
Perfect.
Very weird. Hey guys, don't forget the Rubin Report's brought to you by Coupaw.com. They've got up to 75% off pet treats, toys, and more. And if you use code RR, you can get another 20% off. That's a lot off. There is a link in the description right down below. Code RR, 20% off. Make your pet happy.